Hey, how's it going, guys? So this episode, The Mandalorian, Season 3, Episode 7, is a step in the right direction. We are taking a step in the right direction, but it is far too late. We are Episode 7 of an 8-episode season, and we're now taking a step in the right direction. What has this entire season been about? I mean, now we're sort of getting somewhere, and this was a longer episode, which is good. It was like 50 minutes. Hopefully the next episode is going to be 50 minutes. That's what I was expecting. This episode and the next episode are going to be probably the longest in the season, and they're going to go back to back. They're going to flow like a movie, you know what I mean? Because the entire rest of the season has been disjointed filler. But honestly, I think it's too little, too late. I have already sort of checked out of this season. The way they've been sidelining Din Djarin, the way they've been throwing all this filler in, just, I don't know. What this season has been a mess, and I've already checked out. And now that they're finally getting their stuff in order, getting to the story in the last 2 episodes of this season, I don't really care anymore. But I'm going to try and look past that and focus on what was good about this episode. We'll get to the negatives later, but let's focus on what was good about this episode. And the opening I enjoyed. I really liked that opening with Moff Gideon. It was cool to see like the remnants of the Empire. It's like seeing a reverse role situation. How the Empire and the Rebels used to be. The Rebels used to be just this ragtag team of the leftovers of the Republic, like, you know, just people trying to rebel against the Empire. And then now it's the exact reversal of that. Now the Empire is the unorganized remnant of what was the great Empire, right? So we're getting a little role reversal, and I thought that was cool. We got Thrawn name dropped. I don't know the significance of that name because I have not watched Rebels. A couple of you guys have really recommended that I should watch Rebels after seeing my Ahsoka trailer reaction. So I have actually been watching Rebels. So I'm gonna get done with that before Ahsoka comes out. We also get a name drop of Commandant Hux. Is he related to the Hux in the sequel trilogy? I don't know. But the thing that got my attention was Project Necromancer, and apparently it plays a role in looking for new leadership. So honestly, I'm thinking that this is tying directly into Rise of Skywalker. Project Necromancer is bringing back Emperor Palpatine, new leadership. He's going to reign as the new emperor. That's what I'm thinking they're tying all this back to. That's with the cloning and all that stuff. I think that's where it's leading up to, and that's not something I'm looking forward to. We then head back to Navarro, and we see this Imperial fleet come over. Right? The Mandalorians had hijacked that fleet, right? And it's really cool. The aerial shots in this show are good. That's the best thing about this show. And then we jump into something really odd with Grogu getting an Iron Man suit. Remember that droid, that assassin droid? They have changed that into a vehicle of sorts for Grogu to ride in, to get in, so he can. What is the point? What is the point of this? Okay, this show has taken steps forward and then erased those steps so many times with the little hub on Mando's Naboo starfighter for Grogu to fly in. We saw that in like an episode or 2. They got rid of that. What was the point of that? In this first episode, we got a mission to go get that droid, but then the droid was broken, couldn't use it. So what was the point of that? We had Baby Yoda Grogu going off to Luke Skywalker. Psych, we're bringing him back. There's so many things that they've done and then they take back. Grogu was on his way to becoming a Jedi. We took that away, right? Now we're on, okay, you're not going to be a Jedi. Well, maybe you could be a Jedi, but now we're focusing on you know, reciting the creed. You can't speak yet, but, you know, you're being trained to be a Mandalorian. You're a foundling, all that stuff, right? And then, so we're not worrying about that training, and we're going to be putting him in a robot suit. I want to see Grogu trained using the Force, using his abilities as a little creature, as who he is, not being reliant on a droid. I don't understand it. I don't know. I really don't understand it. What is the point? Yeah, it's funny. It's cute. He pressed no, yes a bunch of times, and it was funny. But I mean, like, I can enjoy it for the visual spectacle, just for the surface level. But beyond that, why do you want to get the only Force-sensitive character on the show, the one that's like a hybrid Mandalorian Jedi to be, reliant on a little mech suit? that egg thing is cute. Okay, I like the little egg, his little egg thing. Is it just because, hey, we want to call back to that droid from that other season that people probably liked, so now we're gonna put 2 and 2 together and we're gonna have like both the characters in one, and it's gonna be fun? I don't know. I don't see that Grogu in that droid lasting. So whoever came up with that idea makes no sense. I don't get it. I really don't get it. I made a video the other day about how one of the producers came out and said that the show is not focusing on Din Djarin as the Mandalorian anymore. He's not the main character, or he's not the only main character. Bo-Katan can be that character, right? So they're looking at the title, The Mandalorian, as any Mandalorian can fill that role. But we've had this whole foundation of Din Djarin as the Mandalorian, right? It's his show. Well, not anymore. And that's been evident with this season. Bo-Katan is leading this whole mission this episode. I mean, she's been at center stage this season, right? But with this episode specifically, I can understand where they're coming from with the Mandalorian being any Mandalorian, because this episode felt much bigger than Din Djarin. It felt like it was all it was like it was a Mandalorian show. It was about all the Mandalorians. But here's the thing. It did still center around Bo-Katan. Bo-Katan was the leader. She facilitated the whole thing. You could have still had Din Djarin being the main character while focusing on the overall Mandalorian storyline. So there is no need to sideline Din Djarin. You could have written it in a way where Din Djarin was still at the center. And that would have made a better story. The reluctant hero, the hero who didn't want to be the leader, who didn't want the role, he didn't want the position, but he steps up to take on the tasks and assumes responsibility. And in the end, everybody wants him to take the leadership position because he has proved his worth from the ground up. That's what I want to see. That's more interesting than what is going on right now. And as I said in that previous video, Bo-Katan is a good character. She's a nice character, but the way they have hijacked this season with her, I don't really appreciate. Also, what's up with the nods of respect? They're all doing that Hodge twin nod. Bo-Katan did it, Din did it, Grogu did it.
Hey, Keith. Hey, man.
Yeah.
Link to buy tickets in the description.
But yeah, man, it really sucks seeing Din being sidelined to this extent. It honestly feels disrespectful to me. He's literally become a supporting character in his own show. There was a scene where he was talking to Bo-Katan and he was like, "And these are the reasons I serve you, Lady Kryze." And the way he was just the way he was talking, it's not like Din Djarin from season 1 and 2. I don't know if it has to do with because they've turned him into a support character. That has to be playing into it as well. But when I look at him, I see Pedro Pascal's face. I see Joel from The Last of Us, because they made Joel soft in that show. They made him really soft in that show compared to the original game. And I'm seeing that here with the Mandalorian. Din Djarin was a boss, okay? Din Djarin was that dude. He was like that cool guy, that Western, that cowboy who can take on anything. He doesn't take anything from anybody else. He does things his own way, and that's it. He's a cool guy. But now he's being empathetic. He's being soft. He's saying, "I serve you, Lady Kryze." He's being sidelined in his own show. And also the scene where Mando is asking permission from Bo-Katan, like, "Hey, should I step in?" When Jon Favreau's character and the other guy were fighting on the ship, he was like, "Should I step in?" Like, dude, Mando wouldn't have asked permission to step in. And second of all, he's not some bodyguard where he's gonna stand there behind Bo-Katan and be like, "Okay, there's trouble there. You go figure it out. You go take care of that for me." Like, what? Baby Yoda, Grogu had to go in there like Michael Jackson and stop the fight. Come on, dude. What is going on here? Just the whole situation is making him feel like soft. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Man, I said I was going to start with the good things, but here I am talking about the bad stuff. But let's get back to some good things. The scene, again, with the aerial shots, the scene with the Mandalorians coming off that pirate ship looked cool. I like that. them jumping off that ship and coming and landing to meet with the rest of the Mandalorians. That was cool. Like the whole scope, this whole aesthetic of this episode, I liked. It gave me like Game of Thrones vibes, so like that medieval kind of vibes. And seeing the Mandalorians that never left Mandalore, their ragtag, older looking clothing, I like that. I've always liked stuff like that takes things back to a more primitive age. Sorry, sorry, Master Kenobi.
So uncivilized.
So this whole aesthetic for this episode, I enjoyed. Big scale, whole bunch of Mandalorians, that giant dinosaur looking thing. When I saw that thing come out, I was like, yo, are we going to get whatever that creature is versus the Mythosaur? Bro, if we get that in the next episode, that would be kind of cool. But speaking about the overall tone, let's dip ourselves back into a little bit of the negative. The music. The music wasn't as good as I'd liked it to be. We know that Ludwig hasn't been doing this season. So the music in season 1 and 2 I thought was better. I did complain a little bit about it in episode 1, but it wasn't bad throughout the season. It was good. I enjoyed the music. But in this episode, it was blatantly obvious that it didn't feel right. Like there was, and a lot of it had to do with the main theme. There was insertions and arrangements of the main theme. The way it was placed, the way it was arranged in certain sections didn't feel right. It felt out of place. And I'm sure you could have used the main theme in those sections, maybe, but I don't know. It just needed to have been arranged differently. Or maybe you needed a different score in there altogether. It just felt out of place. It felt like they were trying to force that Mandalorian soundtrack in areas, and it didn't fit. So eventually all the Mandalorians get down into the underground city of Mandalore, and they get attacked by stormtroopers. And these stormtroopers had Beskar armor. I'm like, whoa, what happened? Who made this armor for them? But apparently they got this whole, Moff Gideon is down there. They got their whole setup over there. Moff Gideon is down there in the lab getting busy. He's aggregating the best of the best from all these different places, right? So he's getting, basically what he wants to do from the way he described it is he wants to create Force-sensitive clones with Beskar armor, like create the ultimate army. And honestly, that's a pretty cool plan. So Moff Gideon ends up catching Mando. So the blast doors close and Mando's out there by himself. He's shooting stormtroopers, and he gets put down to his knees. He gets tied up and everything. I was thinking like, okay, they caught Mando, and now he's going to prove his worth. He's going to destroy all of them, come out of there, do something crazy, save the day so that he can be the number one guy, the main character of the show, the hero in the end, right? No, he gets taken off as prisoner, whatever. I'm checked out. I'm checked out of this season. I'm checked out of The Mandalorian. Bo-Katan is up there front. Moff Gideon is talking to her through the blast doors. I don't know how. And they start shooting at the blast doors. What? That makes absolutely no sense. Bo-Katan runs back, cuts the thing and cuts a hole in the blast doors, Qui-Gon Jinn style, and one by one, all the Mandalorians are getting out. And Jon Favreau's character, he sacrifices himself and he dies. The way he died is pretty cool. Those like Imperial Guard looking kind of whatever those guards were, stabbing him in all the weak spots in the armor, and he killed him. They killed him. And that's it. That was the episode. But see, to me, dude, like this was too little, too late. You got to remember, it's very easy to taint Star Wars right now, if it can be tainted. I mean, it's already down to the ground. So how much more can you taint it? Taint the name of Star Wars. You can't taint it any much more, right? But whatever they've done to bring it up, right? Mandalorian season 1 and 2 were good, right? So that got people interested in Star Wars again. Yeah, like, hey, Star Wars is back. That was cool, right? So it's not like Star Wars is in a good place where, dang, season 3 sucks, so it's going to come down a little bit, but maybe season 4 is going to be good. No, any little thing that goes wrong, boom, plummets. The brand of Star Wars, the name of Star Wars plummets back down because you haven't built your worth yet. You've destroyed it with the sequel trilogy, okay? You've destroyed it with Kenobi. You've destroyed the name of Star Wars, your reputation. Well, Star Wars can never be destroyed for me. Episodes 1 through 6, George Lucas Star Wars, that's it. That's the only canon. That's Star Wars for me. All this extra stuff is extra stuff. It's not canon. right? But whatever Disney Star Wars is, whatever that is right now, is destroyed. You've destroyed it, okay? They've ruined their brand. They've done that themselves.
You have done that yourself.
So they need to prove their worth. They need to prove that they're putting out quality content. Disney Star Wars has already got a salty taste in my mouth, right? It's going to take a lot to wash it out. And every little mistake is just adding more salt, okay? You need to go above and beyond to get people to start believing that Star Wars is back, that this is cool, okay? I mean, remember, you're not going to touch George Lucas episodes 1 through 6. You're never going to be canon, okay? But to build that name back of like, hey, Star Wars thing is coming out. I'm going to be excited because it's Star Wars. It's cool. It's going to be good. In order to build that name back, you need to put out winner after winner after winner after winner. Because every time you put out a loser, that it falls all the way back. Because the default right now is ground level. That's the default. That's the default. It's not up here. Default is not in the middle anymore. It's not like, hey, good, you did bad, it's going to come down here. No, default is ground level. You're doing good, you're building up. You do something bad, you're back down to the ground. So they have a lot to prove, and they're not doing a good job. It's too little, too late. This season 3 is bad. It was not a good season. Okay, season 1 and 2 were good. Again, I do hope that episode 8 is going to be good. But I honestly could not enjoy this episode 7 as much as I could because they've already ruined it for me. I guess I'm just tired of the season, dude. That last episode was just one too many fillers for me, probably. I don't know. And just seeing Din Djarin being sidelined, being treated like a side character, some support character in his own show, and just being reminded of how, of Joel from The Last of Us in this episode, seeing how he's just him being soft. Like, come on, bro, that probably did it to me too. Yes, it was better than the previous because we're finally getting on track. We're finally moving in a direction. But we're in the second to last episode of the season. Who cares if we're getting on track? Honestly, what does it matter? The season was, even if these last 2 episodes were amazing, this season overall is still bad because what was it? Might as well have you could have fit this whole entire season in 3 or 4 episodes. That's it. You don't need anything else, okay? In isolation, I can't even say in isolation this was a good episode because of how they're treating Din Djarin. Visually, aesthetically, I liked it. That's the best I can do. That's the best I can do. And I did like all the Mandalorian action, them coming, like the scale, the tone. I did like that. But everything else, dude, it's too little, too late. It's falling flat for me. I'm not happy with it. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. What did you guys think about episode 7 of The Mandalorian? And I'll see you guys in episode 8. Take care. Bye-bye.